Okay, and welcome back to part 3. So in this part, we're going to create a run animation. We did the walk last session, and we're going to move on to the run today in order to get our blend space set up so we can have a idle, a walk, and a run. So let's get on with it. So I'll just hide that. So I'm going to come up here to my dope sheet, make sure I'm in the action editor, and you should click on idle and then click this and create a run animation. I've already got a blank file called run. I'm going to set that to be 100 frames, so I've got enough space for this. And then I'm going to Alt-R, Alt-G to make sure that I am back in my base pose. In fact, I'm not going to do that because the legs are already set up nicely. So I'm going to keep the legs, but I'm going to lose the rotation from the arms. So all I did was press Alt-R, not Alt-G. Okay, so as we did before, we're going to go to the same reference. Well, instead of walk, it's going to be run. But it's the same book that we're referencing. Now, you'll notice there's a few more poses for the run. I think a lot of people think a run is just a sped up walk cycle, but it's not all. It's completely different. But it has similarities. So it has the same pattern, essentially, where we have the 2 frames that are identical to each other, but just reversed. Because remember, this is just one half of the run cycle. A passing pose, our most extreme and our most extreme up, and our most extreme down. But then we have these other poses in between. We can sort of get away with not doing this one. The in-betweens will take care of that one for us. But this one, where we are fully off the ground, we don't have that in a walk at all. This is like a frame that's just in a run. Now, the further off your ground you are, the more exaggerated your run will be. Look at this, for example. I mean, that is an excellent key pose. Excellent key pose. And it's very dynamic, but it's very exaggerated as well. We're probably not going to go for anything quite that exaggerated. Oh, we can actually see the reference here. I don't know if you can hear that music. I'll turn it down. Okay, right. So let's get on with it. So we're in our run. That's the most important thing. Go to the 3D viewport. Let's have a look at our first frame, which is, so our body's facing towards us a little bit more this time. Front leg is on its heel. This leg is completely off the ground. Okay. So first things first, let's go to frame 1. Let's pull this up a little bit. I think we're a little bit too far down. We want to be about middle in, so not fully extended, about there, and not too down, something like that. So bring this foot forward and rotate. And we want the body to be leaning forward because we're in our run pose. So we lean forward when we're running into our run. And, oh, that's the back leg. Okay, so that's why it was looking not too good. So let's just Alt-R to get rid of all those rotations that I just did and bring that back. And this is the front leg. Bring that forward, rotate it, have a look at it. I think we're going to bring the torso down further. Bring that forward. Remember, this foot wants to be completely off the ground. R to rotate. Like that. Okay, looking good. Now, the arms, this arm wants to be coming back. It's the exact same as the walk in this respect, but I want to put a bit of more of a curve on the arm like that. Yeah, that looks okay. And then with this arm, it's going to come in front of the body. Okay, so we're going to have it coming, maybe not that far forward. Get forward. And then this arm is going to come in front of the body like this. Okay, so have a look at this view. Yeah, that looks okay. Leave the hand. Now, what we need to do is pose this hand, okay? We always want it to be closed because he's holding a wand. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all of the top finger bones, bring them in, select all of the, well, these are actually the upper finger bones, bring them in a little bit like that, and then just bring the thumb down. So it looks like he's going to be holding a wand. Cool. You don't need to do that with the other hand. Select him, eye, location, rotation. Okay, so like we did before, we're going to select that, Shift D to drag it over to 100, come into the middle, select the initial frame, Control C to copy, Control Shift V to paste in the opposite. Okay, so there we go. Now, right, but I have forgotten to do the same thing I forgot last time, which is the movement of the body. So I want the body to move in the direction, and I'm going to make it a bit more extreme this time, the direction of the forward or dominant leg. Also, what we're going to do is we're going to try and keep the head as central as possible. So when we are running forward, our head does not flop from side to side. It roughly stays in the center. Roughly. Okay, so now I'm going to lock that in. And then I'm going to Shift D to duplicate it. Come to 50. Select the first frame. Control C to copy. Control Shift V to paste. Now we should see a little bit of movement on the body when we move from, so yeah, that looks way better. And the arm sort of like curls around the back, which it would do. Okay, that looks way better. All right, now we just need to go and do everything we did before. So I'm going to go to frame 20. And I'm going to put in the passing pose. So the pose that's in the middle. So this one. So let's have a look. This leg is not fully extended. That'll be in the next frame. This foot is at a slight right angle. It's not a full right angle. About 30 degrees, I'd say. And then the foot is actually arcing down and we're on our tiptoes. This is important. Okay, so let's do the back foot first. Or the foot that's closest to us, but it is going to be back in this instance. So drop it down, R to rotate the toe, grab this and rotate the foot. Now you'll notice when I rotate, I don't know if I've spoken about this already. Let's see the foot placement. It wants to be quite far back, so we want to bring this foot about here. And then is this one? Yeah, this one's forward like this. Now you'll notice that if I manipulate the toe, it's messing up his dress or whatever you call this. That's because I haven't weight painted this model at all. So there is no weight painting on it. So things are being affected, but it's fine for what we need. Now, if we look at the passing pose, we'll see this actually doesn't move the head up in this instance. Okay, so we don't want to move the body up. I want to move the leg a little further back, and we'll use that as the passing pose, and we'll lock that in. Now we want our extreme down. So if we have a look, our extreme down, our foot is flat on the ground. This foot is really coming back, but it's similar pose to this, but we're just coming down a lot. Again, the more you pull down and up, the more exaggerated and heavy the run will be. Wait a second. Yeah, that's fine. So go on to 10. So this, we want all rotations to be gone. We want the foot to be flat on the ground. This, again, is our most extreme down, so let's pull it down slightly. And that foot can stay where it is, except for that I want it to be rotated more like that. Okay, that can be our extreme down. Eye, location, rotation. Now we want our extreme up. So again, tiptoes, leg fully extended. This foot coming through this time, ready in preparation for that shape change from going curve down to curve up. And we are at our most extended pose, okay? So grab the back leg, do that. Let's grab this toe, R to rotate it. You see how it was moving the dress there? That's because of the weight painting. Bring that back like that. Remember, we've got to extend this up so we can rotate that a little more. Let's have a look at the other foot. I'll bring it up slightly and rotate it down like that. Okay, it's looking good. Now we have a bit of problem with clipping here, but I'm not worried about that. And then we're gonna rotation location. And then we've got this special frame where we are fully in the air. Okay, so this one is, you know, you don't. The more you exaggerate this one, the more exaggerated your run will be. This is really where you can exaggerate it, but really, this is where just both feet are off the ground for not too long, and I'm going to leave it like that. I don't want too exaggerated a pose here. Eye, location, rotation. Okay, so there's a bit of a weird kick in here. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go back to this frame and not have this leg quite so extended. A bit more like that. Lift up the torso more, like that. As a rule, you don't want the legs to be fully extended because that gives you a weird kick. I'm going to hit eye, location, rotation. And it's still giving me a weird kick. But that might be fine when we've got the full thing. Let's have a look. So, grab these middle frames, Control C to copy, and then, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We might have to move that to there. So just select these again. Control C, Control Shift V. Oh no, we were bang on. Put that there. Okay, and then hit play. Yeah, that's not looking too great, is it? And I think the reason it's not looking too great is because on it's this frame here that we're not. So let's go back. If you can see problems, you might as well fix them. So it's from this frame to this frame. Is it because we've missed something? No, we had this. We had this. So this is our most. Let's find our most extreme up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this frame because this is the one that's causing a lot of problems. So I'm going to delete that keyframe, and then I'm just going to take the position of the leg here and extend that up. Perhaps rotate that around more. Let's try that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so let's get that sorted. So select those, Control C, Control Shift V. Okay, and then hit play. Still a little gank here, especially at this speed, but we can fix that. So we are going to have these every 3 or 2 frames. I'm going to go for 3 now. So in fact, I'm going to go for 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. What is that? Every 3, 1. Yeah, every 2 frames. So this will run faster than the walk. And again, you can space. You don't have to space these evenly, but that's much more advanced, and we can talk about that when we go on to more advanced animation. So this goes all the way to 21. And now let's hit play. All right, that'll work. Now, remember, we've got that technique that we do. So actually, we're going to go to frame 20. We're going to eye that, so lock that in. We're going to then delete the last frame, which is 21. X, delete, drag that frame onto 21. Come on now. That's better. So now that's on 21. And now we should get a better loop. All right, that looks fine. Okay, let's check his time. Check the time. All right, we'll leave this one here. Okay, so now we've got our run, we've got our walk, and we have our idle. And we are going in the next video to blend them all together, set up a system for sprinting so that we can actually use it. And then after that, we're going to go and do some combo attacks so we can do like 3 combo spell, Expelliarmus, whatever it is. I don't actually know all the spell names and stuff. Okay, so we'll leave this one there and I'll catch you in the next one.